It all begins with a spark, a crackle of infinite creative energy serving as the wellspring of power for this universe, this multiverse. This is Sky, and it welcomes you back to SBURBALL. For this April 13th, I'm releasing part 2 of the series. Sorry for taking so long. Figuring out how to actually make this function was the hardest part of all this. But I think I figured out a fairly good way to do so. So, without further ado, let's get into this part 2. Last time we witnessed the creation of the forces of the universe, the power of Chronoa, the master of Spurb. So now, we witness the universe's evolution from that point, in the time since the beginning of the universe. Chronoa's game has helped foster the mortal level in all the universes throughout its process. More universes were created by Zeno, in an attempt to help more games be played for his entertainment. It's one of these universes where a new story begins. In Universe 7, on a planet we are all too familiar with, we meet a young girl named Joey Claire. Bulma, the heiress to the Capsule Corp fortune, is under her care at the moment. Bulma was playing with Tesseract at the Harley Manor. Joey, like her main counterpart, had a tumultuous relationship with her father, Jake Harley. However, she has less of a disdain for him in this story, due to seeing him a lot more at work events and whatever, and whenever she goes to babysit Bulma. Bulma is a rowdy, young kid and worrying Jude, as she runs off to find a new place to play. Here, she finds the Cherub Portal, and Joey is tasked with investigating the portal, and accidentally activates it with her mother's mysterious Cherub key, being swapped with someone else into a new universe. She lands on Alternia, and meets with Zephyros. At the same time, Damek Tetrarch had swapped through his own shenanigans, and ended up on Earth. Jude and Bulma met the young troll, and he was taken in by the Briefs for the moment. However, around this time, an agent of the Galactic Patrol had arrived to address a threat on Earth. The huge energy spike from when Damek and Joey had swapped attracted the attention from them. However, Gia, the Galactic Patroller sent to capture the threat, found the group of children. He decided not to capture Damek, knowing of where he came from, and instead recruited the three of them on a mission he had been assigned to capture a demonic threat. Vamp, possessed by the former Galactic Patroller Steph, had amassed an army of monsters, and the four of them would need to stop them. Meanwhile, on Alternia, Zephyros and Joey had become fast friends, and possibly more. The events of Hive Swap Acts 1 and 2 basically happen as they did in Homestuck's canon. However, around the time when the train crashes, someone arrives on Alternia. Just as in Universe 7, a patroller arrives on Alternia's homeworld to investigate. Renzo, Caulifla's older brother and one of the greatest Sodalan soldiers. He helps them meet with their Violet Brother friends, and learn that if they don't reactivate the Cherub Gate soon, both Earth and Alternia will be destroyed. At the same time, in Universe 7, Damek and the Galactic Patroller Gia are trapped in combat with Vamp and a series of mysteriously controlled monsters. Gia recognizes them from somewhere, but can't put his finger on it. Damek and Joey work together, with Damek using his flame manipulation, and Joey using his flare gun to take down some of the monsters. Gia manages to knock out the distracted Vamp, releasing him from Steph's control. And as he arrests him, it dawns on him. These are cherubim monsters. In both universes simultaneously, they realize that they're dealing with the mythical cherub creatures, a thought-extinct species that used to span all of the 18 universes, before mysteriously they started to die out. They are apparently a terrifying species, but luckily no one alive now has encountered them. In Universe 6, Renzo and the two kids begin their work to repair the Alternian Cherub Gate, but soon after their return to Damek's hive with everyone in the group, Imperial drones arrive and attempt to attack the group. Renzo begins to fight them off, using his immense strength to easily break apart the drones. Joey and Zephyros hide away and continue to attempt to fix the portal, with the help of a troll they encountered on the train named Malik. Renzo is doing fine on his own, until Trizatethis, the heiress to the Alternian Empire, arrives. You lot are quite bold. Saiyans should know to fear the Alternian Empire, and you rebels should know that the Sufferer and the Summoner couldn't defeat us. You're all worthless. She attacks, easily able to handle Renzo, who was tired out from fighting the drones. She rushes into the hive, and quickly throws aside Malik into the wall, before lunging forward with her trident in an attempt to kill Joey. Suddenly, Zephyros' powers activate. In a fit of rage, he is able to stop the trident and throw it back at high speeds. Trissa just barely dodges. The two engage in a fight, with Zephyros managing to use his psychic powers to actually combat the heiress. She laughs at this pathetic attempt to fight her off. He'll make for a great post on her chitter. Joey and Malik continue to work on the portal. Meanwhile, Joey and Damek have recruited Jacko, who had recently arrived. They go off-world to find a stash of blue aurum, sky gold, to actually provide enough energy for the cherub portal and to get Damek home. Damek positions himself as the leader of the group, somewhat forcing everyone to follow his lead. Jude frowns a bit at this. They join Gia, Jacko, and an even younger patroller named Sachi in an attempt to find somewhere with sky gold. And they find a planet, one named Serial. They all arrive and meet its natives, explaining their situation. Flake, the father of Chronoa and the strongest living Cerealian, leads them to where they have their riches. But just as Damek and Joey exclaim their happiness at the journey being over, crash! A meteor. No, something far worse. An invasion. The group huddles together and prepares to hide from the invading Frieza and Saiyan army under the instruction of the Galactic Patrollers. Trissa slams Zephyros into a wall, knocking him out for a moment. More and more drones pile into the hive. Trissa laughs and smiles at her prey. She had fully expected more of a resistance, but these kids were pathetic. She's about to drive her trident into the chest of Joey, but a huge explosion is heard outside. Renzo smiles. He's here. King Sadala arrives, blasting through the army of drones. Outglut was shaking as his voice boomed, calling trolls from all walks of life to fight for their lives against the drones. Deercat fought drones alongside Renzo and Zeusmo. Trissa fell back, briefly rushing to go fight the Royal, buying Joey time to try and continue hacking the portal with the injured Malik. On planet Serial, the invasion follows the canon set of events very closely, with the Saiyans and the Frieza Force pretty much wiping out the entire Cerealian species, as well as the Namekians. The entire time, the Galactic Patrollers, even Sachi, don't act, fearing a retaliation from Frieza's forces. Damek chastises the members of the Galactic Patrol for allowing such a thing to happen. He's a freedom fighter and is ashamed of their seemingly glorious organization for condoning such a military act. He calls them all worthless, and that he's the only valuable person here. He runs off with Jude and Sachi into the woods. Jude confronts Damek, saying that he was a bit too harsh on the patrollers, and that they couldn't risk a war with this big Emperor guy. Damek yells at him again, telling him that for a rebellion to succeed, they need to be forceful, and they need to make sacrifices. Jude, however, corrects him. He argues that being so forceful could push people away and lead to more harm than good. Damek goes quiet for a second, but soon they hear voices nearby. They continue to follow them, finding a Saiyan seemingly about to attack the remaining survivor of the Cerealian massacre. Damek can't help himself. He jumps in, grabbing the mother just as Electric was about to shoot her. Bardock is shocked, but Muzelli shouts to just fight! Sachi, Damek, and Bardock all fight together in an attempt to protect the Cerealians, as Jude stays back and takes care of Granola, Monito, and Muzelli, which initially confuses the hidden patrollers. They rush in to attack and arrest the remaining members of the Heaters, while the young ones fight off gas. Their presence trivializes the fight, as the heroes easily defeat the Planet Brokers. The group manage to commandeer the collection of sky gold that they find on their ship, and they are sent to prison. For now, Bardock is given the blind eye by the Galactic Patrollers, just this once. Damek and Jude quickly return to Earth. Trissa and her drone army are being handled very easily by the veritable army of rebels rising up against her, inspired by King Sadala. She's culling lowbloods left and right, attempting to re-establish control over the situation. Malik, however, yells out at Joey and the now waking up Zephyros. "It's ready! Get into the portal! Now!" The two rush towards the portal. At the same time, in Universe 7, Jude and Damek are using the collection of Sky Gold to power their own portal. They activate simultaneously, and another huge energy wave is felt in both universes. Jude says his goodbyes to Damek one last time, hugging him, and Joey kisses Zephyros on the cheek before hopping into the portal herself. The two return to their own homes. Damek steps out, finding his friend Zephyros blushing like an idiot. He hears the explosions of fighting outside, and tries to grab Zephyros' hand, attempting to bring him to safety and re-establish his own rebellion in his own way. However, Zephyros is a bit more forceful than he had usually been, and yells at Damek to stop, that he wants to do things his own way from now on, that they're good friends, but he needs to let loose a little and listen to him. Damek is initially shocked, but he smiles. He's realized by now what a horrible Moirol he's been. He hugs him, and the two walk outside into the battle together. Triza is furious to see Zephyros try and rear his ugly head again. She rushes to attack, but King Sadala punches her away. She spits out a tooth and smiles at him, asking if he's really ready for a fight with her. King Sadala sweats a bit, and explains that he won't stop fighting here until either she's dead, or Zephyros and his friends are allowed to be free. Triza's smile fades. Her imperious condescension wouldn't like this. She can't just let him live in society after causing such upheaval. So King Sadala proposes. "Why don't I take them with me? Such valuable soldiers would prove to be an amazing asset for my business." Triza rolls her eyes. "Just go!" Zephyros and Damek join up with Renzo, having had their hair ruffled by the soldier. They're part of something bigger now, a bigger initiative. Their violet-blooded friends wave goodbye as Triza flies off from her own ship, and they shoot off among the stars. Jude and Joey hug, with Joey crying in her brother's arms. He wasn't crazy. He wasn't the burden she made him out to be. He was right. Aliens were real. She was sorry. Jude hugged her back and just said he loved her no matter what. The Galactic Patrol confiscates the shared portal, making sure to be careful not to activate the powerful object once again. It can't be allowed to remain on Earth. Gia thanks Jude, stating that from this point on, both of them would be honorary Galactic Patrollers. They smile as the ship prepares to leave the planet. Bulma, Dr. Briefs, and Tights meet Jacko, as in the background you can see a ship arriving on Earth. The young Saiyan Kakarot, son of Bardock, arrived on the planet. And another story begins as this story starts to end. The ship flies off into space, but as it leaves the solar system and heads towards the Galactic Patrol HQ, a red ship looms into their view. The portal they confiscated was not theirs to take after all. For them to commandeer it, they would need to deal with her, the Emperor of the Alternian Empire, the ruler of the planet Joey had just escaped. Her imperious condescension. Betty Crocker herself. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching this video. I've had a really fun time making this series work, and I hope you all enjoy it. I'll be uploading more often soon, so look forward to that. Very soon, I should have uploaded another video for 413, so look out for that as well. If you like this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below on how you think this series will go. Anyways, that's all. Bye-bye!